Coming up on Sports Paws, men's hockey gets tested at home against the top ECAC opponent.
Plus, women's basketball is entered in the toughest part of its schedule. How did they do?
All that and more coming up on Sports Paws right now. Hello everyone and welcome to Sports Paws. I'm Giovanni.
And I'm Nick Palma. You know, Gio, the men's hockey team had its first weekend sweep in over a month last weekend.
Right, you are, Nick. And while the team had a successful weekend last week, they would face another tough conference foe. Tyrell Walden Martin sat down with Sam Annis earlier in the week to talk about avoiding the sophomore slump.
So you're nominated as a semifinalist for the Walter Brown Award and a nominee for the Hobie Baker Award. Just what would it mean for you as a player and for the program if you walked away with either one of those?
I mean, just for me right now, it's just cool to be nominated, and you see the names that are on the list of the nominees and the prior winners. It's quite an honor to be up there, and for the Hobie Baker to be there with Matthew Pekka, and for the Walter Brown to be there with Danny Federico. It's cool to have someone there with me, and just either way, if someone wins it from our team, it's just good publicity for the team, and obviously I'd love to win either of them, but it's just great to be nominated.
National Rookie of the Year last year, just how have you come in this year, you know, avoiding all the pressure of the possible dreaded sophomore slump?
I did hear a couple things about that, and I just tried to focus on my game. I didn't try and focus on scoring goals or getting points or any of that. I just tried to become the best player that I can be and just not getting complacent. A lot of times that happens after a good first year or any year really, so just tried to keep working hard and sticking at it.
And just along your progress, you've become the go-to goal scorer, you know, with Pekka, you know, now adjusting to being primarily as a facilitator. Just how have you adjusted to that role?
I think it's just kind of naturally happened. I think either of us would be glad if the roles were reversed. I think he'd be fine scoring the goals, I'd be fine making plays. As long as we're winning, it doesn't really matter to us, so it's been good to see we've been doing well lately.
Big game against Yale last week, 2 goals. You always seem to play well against Yale. Just what is it about that rivalry that just gets you going?
I just think those games are, not that other games aren't fun, but it's just fun to be in that atmosphere, and I do enjoy the spotlight a bit, and I guess I'm used to that from high school. We had a rivalry game against Georgetown Prep, our rival school, and I would always play well in those games, so I guess it helped me out.
So you pumped up already for next Friday then?
Oh yeah, but I think this Friday is our biggest game right now with St. Lawrence in second place, so I think I'm more pumped for that right now.
Rand always talks about how the team is just very young. So what do you think, you know, the team mostly is made up of freshmen and sophomores. What do you think, how far do you think this team can go?
I think the sky's the limit for our team. I think we've really progressed and matured as a team. I think if you watch games from earlier in the year compared to right now, you'd see it's almost a completely different team. We've become more defensive and a lot more team-oriented and a lot less selfishness and just doing whatever it takes to win the game.
5 years from now, you're sitting back, you're looking back at your college career. What has occurred and just what is the legacy that Sam Annis has left Quinnipiac with?
I would love to win as many championships as possible. I mean, everyone loves to win, and I think I hate to lose more than I like to win. So I would love to win ECAC championships, and I'd love to win a national championship. I think that'd be something that I'd remember forever for sure.
Men's ice hockey playing the number 20 St. Lawrence Saints at the High Point Solutions Arena. St. Lawrence Saints coming in with 7 straight wins. The Bobcats supporting the Student Veterans Organization with their camouflage jerseys. And early on in the first period, Nick Danferico will make a costly possession here. Turns the puck over, goes to Christian Horn of St. Lawrence. Center ice, breakaway shot. It's a little bit too wide, goes over the net, but the play still going on here. Ryan Lowe will get the puck, centering feed to Sean McGovern past Gartic with the goal, and the Saints take an early 1-0 lead.
Yeah, good job by St. Lawrence to come out into this game, fired up with a lot of energy. They were able to follow through with that one.
But the Bobcats will play hard on the boards in the second period, and with the puck here, Soren Jans takes a slap shot too fast for the camera guy, gets past freshman goalie Kyle Hayton for the goal. So Jans' 5th goal of the season. Bobcats tie the game at 1. But minutes later, Matthew Pekka causes a turnover in the zone of St. Lawrence. Landon Smith Finman's top slot goal. Bobcats take a 2-1 lead in the second period.
Yeah, Smith's been playing real good as of late. It's good to get him going, putting pucks in the net here.
And Janssen here before the second period ends takes a slap shot, but Hayton makes a save with his pads, and the Bobcats would enter the third period up 2-1. So Quinnipiac turned the puck over. Here's McGovern once again. Breakaway chance on the far side of the ice, but Matthew Pekka slashes him before he gets a chance to take the shot. And you'll see in slow motion here, we're going to get Quinnipiac's first penalty shot in a game since 2012.
Wow. Good stat line there, Gio. This was a costly mistake by Pekka, but Gartig hold up for them.
McGovern on the far side of the ice tries a few moves, but Gartig with the pad save, and QU will hold on to win this game 2-1. The Bobcats are now 1 win away from earning their first round bye in the ECAC tournament. Here's head coach Ryan Pecknold after the game.
Exciting college hockey game. I thought both teams played great. Both goalies were excellent. Proud of the way our guys competed tonight and battled. And I don't think it was our best game, but we'll take the win and we move on. I'd say that was one of the more physical games that we've been in all year. I think St. Lawrence brings that to an extent. I think maybe because of what was at stake today. They were a little more amped up. We were a little more amped up. I liked how hard we played today, and I thought we did a lot of good things. I do think at times we had some panic in our game, which I haven't seen a lot of this year. But even some of our veteran guys had some panic, and so it's part of it's a good learning experience, and we need to learn from this and play a little more composure in the future.
All right, we'll bring it on over back to the High Point Solutions Arena, where the Bobcats will look to complete the weekend sweep after the win against St. Lawrence on Friday. First period, it's Clarkson's Janik Asselin who's going to receive the puck in front of net. He'll put it past Michael Gartig for the game's first goal of the game. 1-0 Clarkson, but minutes later, it's going to be Asselin again on the breakaway, except Michael Gartig comes up with a big stop there.
Gartig loves making those saves on the breakaway situations.
Yeah, then on the power play, the one-timer, it's Travis St. Dennis. He puts in his 14th goal of the season to help tie this one up at 1. And then we're going to bring it on over to the second period. It's Matthew Pekka on the breakaway, a little bit of deja vu action, except he's the one getting tripped up in front of the crease here. Referees call for the penalty shot. Pekka has the opportunity to put Quinnipiac on top, 2-1. Here's the penalty shot here, but he's going to wind up whipping as the goalie poke checks and saves it there.
Puts his body too much to the right side, has no pressure on the stick to make a move.
Yeah, but later, as you see it, Matthew Pekka gets vengeance, sets up Landon Smith for the goal. Quinnipiac now up 2-1, and just 26 seconds later, it's Kevin McKernan, he scores top shelf for his first career goal as a Bobcat.
And a beauty too.
Yeah, big time goal there. Bobcats go up 3-1. Third period now. Andrew Tavener is going to get a centering feed from Derek Smith. Beautiful touch, puts it in. Bobcats go up 4-1, his 5th goal of the year. Here's Ram Pecknold in his game.
First period wasn't good. We really struggled. I give a lot of credit to Clarkson. They were ready to go, and we just weren't. But we found a way to make it 1-1. We had that nice play on the power play score, and I thought we were really good in the second. In the third period, I don't even know if they had a shot on net. I thought we were great in the third period. I think they had one ozone draw, so kind of a unique game in the way we played all 3 periods. But in the end, we'll take our 2 points and win.
After another weekend sweep, the Bobcats are tied at number 10 in the pairwise rankings with Hockey East Conference teams Boston College and Providence. Minnesota and Yale are right behind Quinnipiac. Leading the pairwise is Minnesota State with 58 pairwise points. Filling out the rest of the top 5 in order are North Dakota, Boston University, Minnesota Duluth, and Nebraska Omaha. And Rick Seeley and his number 5 women's ice hockey team would start its 2-week road stretch to end the regular season this past weekend. The Bobcats started the weekend with a visit to St. Lawrence, but ended up being shut out for the first time this season by a score of 3-0. Quinnipiac would rebound the following night against the number 8 Clarkson Golden Knights and shut them out 1-0. With only a few minutes left in the third period, Sydney Rusler scored off a pass from Erica Un Johansson. The win at Clarkson is the Bobcats' first win against a top 10 team since November, when they defeated the number 5 Clarkson Golden Knights 3-1 in Storrs, Connecticut. Quinnipiac is tied for second in the ECAC standings with Clarkson at 30 points. The Bobcats close out its regular season next weekend with trips to Yale and Brown.
And after yet another weekend split, women's hockey remains at the number 5 spot in the pairwise rankings. Behind Quinnipiac are Boston University and Clarkson, respectively. Boston College is still at the top of the rankings with 15 pairwise points, and the rest of the top 5 teams in order are Minnesota, Wisconsin, and fellow ECAC opponent Harvard.
And coming up on Sports Paws, women's basketball looks to continue its dominance in the MAAC against some of the top conference teams.
Also, the Bobcats have been dominant in the MAAC this year, but have been a little shaky of late. We'll break down it all down after the break. Do not go anywhere. Sports Paws will be right back.
That was then, this is now. Don't be just a number.
Hello, welcome to Chameleon.
At Chameleon Hair Color Cafe and Spa, it's all about what makes you feel beautiful. Their professional team is dedicated to helping you reach your customized beauty goals from your head to your toes. Chameleon Hair Color Cafe and Spa, where it's all about what makes you feel beautiful.
We are your source for entertainment news.
Welcome to Joya Spa and Salon in Hamden. Whether you want a new look or the perfect wedding day hair, come to us for complete hair and nail care, cuts, styles, updos, extensions, and beautiful dimensional hair color, as well as manis and pedis, acrylics, gels, and shellac. Treat yourself to a facial, a peel, or microdermabrasion. Relax with a variety of massage techniques, including Swedish and hot stone massage. Joya Spa and Salon. Call today.
Welcome back to Sports Paws. We'll bring you on over to the Lender Court, where women's basketball will look to remain undefeated in conference play versus Iona on Monday. First half, it's Boo Abshire, and she finds Val Driscoll in the lane to put in the layup, give Quinnipiac the early 4-3 lead.
More than impact Val Driscoll's had in this team the whole entire season.
Yes, but ensuing possession, it's Iona's Danica Martinez for corner three, and she led the team with 21 points in this one. Iona got a 6-4 lead there, and then they're on the possession again, but Quinnipiac forces a turnover here. In transition here, it's Nicolai Osegard right at the Lender Court sign. She's going to eventually find Samantha Guastella. She puts up the three. It's good. Quinnipiac gets a 7-6 lead, although Quinnipiac would be down 37-32 at half. That would mean they would have to rely on Samantha Guastella's three-point shooting performance in this one if they wanted to get the victory. And boy, she was lights out, Gio.
Well, I mean, nobody's guarding her. Look at these shots.
I mean, they gave her the shots, and she just kept executing. She shot 5 threes in the second half, many of which regained the lead for Quinnipiac. That one right there helped give Quinnipiac a 75-70 lead. From there on out, it was just free throw execution and solid defense to help give Quinnipiac the 85-74 victory. And
going right into the next game, playing the Canisius Golden Griffins, trying to keep that MAAC record undefeated, but early on, they would struggle. And let's go right to the second half here. Nicolai Ostegard trying to find the open Jasmine Martin from beyond the three-point line. She'll get it off the backboard. Quinnipiac still trailing Canisius. But key play here from Shayna Earl forces the turnover, and Quinnipiac will get the ball with 20 seconds left to go in regulation.
I mean, yeah, that's a big-time play right there. We'll see how it turns out for the Bobcats here coming in the next drive.
Boo Abshire, Jasmine Martin from the Lender Court sign. She'll make it. The game is tied at 77. This game is going to go into overtime.
Big-time shot to see Jasmine Martin finally step up there.
And Samantha Guastella going to play some pretty solid defense here. Shot from Canisius missed, but Guastella picks up a very clutch rebound. Quinnipiac keeping possession and get their lead. Nikolai Ostergaard a few seconds later gets fouled, goes to the free throw line, makes the shot, secures Quinnipiac's lead. 88-85 with a few seconds left. Shot up, no good. Samantha Guastella gets the rebound, and Canisius cannot tie it back up. Quinnipiac wins this one in overtime, 88-85. They stay undefeated in conference play. And you know, Nick, women's basketball has yet to lose a game in conference play this season.
And that's right, Gio. And with that, we're going to talk about some key stats as to why they've been so successful this season.
Well, Nick, let's start off with how they've been playing in wins this season. The Bobcats have shot 42% overall, 36% from the three-point line, and they've averaged 80 points per game. But in losses, and they only had 3 of them this year, they've averaged 67 points and have shot 28% from three-point land.
And interesting that you note that, because if you go to the first half stats versus Iona, when they were down 37-32, statistically, they were leaning towards an unexpected QU loss. They were shooting 31% from the field and just a 6.3% from three-point. But Samantha Guastella and company would help pick up the Bobcats in the second half versus Iona when they won 85-74, as we showed you the highlights. Guastella helped get the Bobcats three-point shooting to 53% in that game, and they shot 47 in the field.
Well, let's go with the game versus the Marist Red Foxes, one of the other good teams in the MAAC as well. In the first half, they were up 45-19. The reason why, 2 reasons actually. They had 45% from field goal range and 33% from beyond the arc, but in the second half, they were outscored 36-28. They eventually won by 18 points, but they shot miserably from three-point land, 17.6%.
Yeah, I mean, they can't really be putting up performances like that in a half, but like you said, it's big to have a first half like they did against Marist, shooting 45% from the field. They got the 45-19 lead, and that's evidently why they were able to come away with the victory on the road against Marist. But now, we're going to date back, go back in history here, a couple years ago to 2013.
Back to the NEC days?
Yep, back when the Quinnipiac got an NEC title, where they were averaging 70 points per game. Statistically, they're kind of very similar to where they've been at this season. They're averaging 41.6% from the field. But what's big to note is that they're averaging almost 8 more points. And that, with that being said, they're playing in a MAAC conference. So tell me about, they're playing in the MAAC. So tell me why the MAAC is, more competitive here.
Well, with the MAAC, it's a bigger mid-major conference, and what's more impressive about their performance in this conference compared to the NEC is that not only are they putting up 8 more points per game, but they're also 4th in the country with 20 assists per game, which is very impressive for a team led by senior point guard Boo Abshire on the assist point, that they just keep on passing and finding people beyond the arc. They're finding those open people, and they're finding a lot of different ways to score.
All right, you said, Gio. When we return, men's basketball looks to continue its February dominance as they play 2 key opponents in Fairfield and Iona. We'll let you know how they did.
Plus, we give you the top 5 plays of the week for Quinnipiac Sports. Do not go anywhere. Sports Paws will be right back here on Q30 Television.
Looking for debate and analysis of your favorite Quinnipiac sports?
Attacking and pressing.
Right, and it's not, and what they're doing isn't working.
But unfortunately, they couldn't finish the Colgate game, so I think definitely those are the keys that the Bobcats need to watch.
Had guys that can take the ball in the latter stages of the second half.
I think those
Even
other
with limited minutes.
In the MAAC, they play the run and gun style.
Q30's and QBSN's Bobcat Breakdown brings all that to you and more. Live every Monday night at 8:30, tune in to see analysis of your Bobcats from the week before. Every sport from every season, it's all right here on Bobcat Breakdown.
I could really go for a Ray and Mike sub right now.
Come to Ray and Mike's and try our Philly chicken and cheese for just over $4. Giant cheesesteak subs and mouth-watering boar's head sandwiches for as low as $4.75. Q-Cash accepted just a mile down the road on Whitney, here at Ray and Mike's.
Welcome to A Sheer Sensation, North Haven's premier cosmetology service, located at 140 Washington Avenue, minutes from Hamden. We offer an array of services, from basic cuts and colors to lash extensions and formaldehyde-free keratin treatments. We also provide hair chalk and styling for men. When you spend $60, your Q card will get you 10% off. Call us at 203-239-6477 to make your next appointment at A Sheer Sensation.
Quinnipiac, it's the morning after. Hey! Come on, guys, it's time for TMA. Let's go! What's the morning after? Mondays at 10, only on Q30.
Coming out of the break, we welcome you back to Sports Paws, and let's bring you on over to the Webster Bank Arena in Bridgeport, where Fairfield hosted Quinnipiac on Friday. First half action, James Ford Jr. with the ball. He's going to bounce pass to Justin Harris for the jump shot. That's good. Quinnipiac with an early 7-2 lead. Then again, Aaron Hutton missed 3-point, but Harris is right there to finish it off. Gets in the layup. He had a career high 23 points in this one, Gio, and he was just a monster here.
Good time to have a career game, right?
Yeah, as you see right here, he keeps it in bounds, gets the tough layup, proving these big men on Fairfield wrong, coming up with the big game. And then in the second half, we're going to highlight him again. A 3-point made. That's unexpected. His first career 3-pointer. You don't see that often.
No, you don't.
He's amped up, ready to go. But then you got the Fairfield Stags trying to mount the comeback. Marcus Gilbert with the spin move on Evan Conti. The layup's good. And here you go again, Gilbert from beyond the arc. That's good. Fairfield coming back now, 39-36.
Gilbert, a very quick player. Bobcats just can't seem to defend him down low.
No, he was hard to defend right there underneath the basket. Gets in the sloppy pass, and then here he's going to drive down past Zaid Hurst. Gets Fairfield a 56-54 lead. Too little, too late though, as QU would come back and win it. Here you go. Usman Drame with a slam dunk. Gets Quinnipiac back on top. We're going to replay that for you. Watch Usman come underneath the screen, unprotected.
How can you not see a 7-footer wide open down the paint?
I really don't know, Gio, but a few big shots made by Usman Drame from the free throw line would help seal the deal for a 60-59 win. Quinnipiac's 8th conference win of the year.
Bobcats come back to Lender Court to face the Iona Gales, and early on in the first half, one of the best players in the MAAC, AJ English, not having a have to remember. Here for the layup, clanks it, misses his layup here. Few seconds later, AJ English coming down for 3. No, it's a miss. A few minutes later in the first half, English driving down to the left side of the lane. Off the backboard, no good.
English was able to create his shots here in the first half, just couldn't execute like he normally does.
AJ English shot 2 for 11 in the first half, 18% from the field, and Quinnipiac would be up 31-26 at halftime. And now in the second half, we go from another good player on one team to another. Zaid Hurst had a very bad second half as well.
Yes, he did, Gio. This was not good for Quinnipiac if they wanted to come away with a victory in this one.
And Zaid Hurst missed that 3 there, misses another 3. He would end up shooting 2 for 11 in the second half himself. 18%, his 3rd worst shooting percentage of the season for him.
Yeah, right there. That's a little bit last-minute desperation shot. Doesn't go in. Unfortunately, Quinnipiac doesn't come away with the victory in this one.
Quinnipiac loses 60-57 to the Iona Gales. Here's head coach Tom Moore after the game.
Up and down game, very competitive. We've come a long way as a team since the last time we played those guys. And I'm proud of that, but it's hard to spit a pill to swallow tonight to lose it because it was so close.
The Quinnipiac softball team opened up its season at the First Pitch Classic hosted by the University of North Carolina at Charlotte. After falling to Ohio 9-1 in 5 innings on Friday afternoon, the Bobcats bounced back with a 7-5 victory over Army that evening. Nikki Barba and Molly Jarrett had 2 RBIs apiece in the 3rd and 4th inning to help give Sydney Rober her first win of the season on Saturday. Charlotte and Ohio rolled over the Bobcats, defeating them 11-1 and 15-5 in Quinnipiac's doubleheader. There were a lot of good plays in Quinnipiac sports in the past few days.
Let's get right to it. The top 5 plays of the week brought to you by Q30 Sports. And let's start off with basketball here at number 5. Men's basketball versus Fairfield. And Nick, this is something we really don't see much. Justin Harris, his first career 3-pointer, 3 of 23 points from him in that game.
Yeah, big day for Justin Harris. He's been coming up big for Quinnipiac Sports as of late. Number 4, Travis St. Dennis on the power play, the one-timer, top shelf. That's good. That'll be good for your number 4 play there.
It's a beautiful one-timer there from the Bobcats. A nice centering feed from Derek Smith to Travis St. Dennis. Number 3, let's go right back to the same game. Kevin McKiernan from the circle, high slot, gets the goal for the Bobcats, his first career goal.
Yeah, that is beauty right there, top shelf. Number 2, we're going to bring you on over to Michael Gartig's big stop in the 2-1 victory over St. Lawrence. That one came across the penalty shot of Sean McGovern. Bobcats would walk away with that one.
Speaking of clutch number 1 here, Bobcats versus the Golden Griffins. Jasmine Martin with time running out from the Lender Court sign, shoots it, drains it, ties the game at 77, sends the game into overtime, which the Bobcats would eventually win and keep their MAAC record at 15-0.
Like you said, Gio, we had a great week in sports, but that will do it for this week for Sports Paws. And Gio, like I said, very entertaining week for Quinnipiac Sports.
Right, you are, Nick. And for more information on Quinnipiac Athletics, follow us on Twitter at Q30 Sports.
And don't forget to check out our website at www.q30television.com. He's Giovanni Mio, and I'm Nick Palma. Have a good night, everyone.